Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Stampin' Sue Creates here. Welcome if you are brand new here. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. I want to welcome all my new viewers. I have had so many new viewers and I'm so excited about that. And those of you that watch that have not yet subscribed, oh my gosh, what are you waiting for? It's absolutely free and you don't get many free things these days. When I do look at my stats, I do notice that a lot of you that do watch, about 83% of you are not subscribers. Oh my goodness, like why not? Come and join the fun. Don't miss out on upcoming new videos as they're posted. And that's all you have to do is click that little red box and you will be subscribed. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. I'm just looking for my threads right now. So it is 1 week before Christmas. Can you believe it? Like, really? And here I am still right up till last minute making things. So my brother, sister-in-law, and niece all live in North Carolina. They are coming up tomorrow. Well, they're actually up here, I think. They have a wedding to attend. And we're going to meet up with them the first time since they moved down to North Carolina. And we agreed this year we weren't going to do gifts. But when I saw this design on Creative Fabrica, and I will put the link below, and I do want to tell you, I do make a teeny bit of money by that. Now, if you hear that noise in the background, that would be George. Now, George lives with me, and he's a little old round guy, and he sweeps my floors. So that's what that noise is. But anyhow, I saw this design for a shirt on Elf on the Shelf. Now, I don't know if they're into that, but if you follow me, oh my gosh, Jingle Bell and Jolly have been up to some antics that, wow, cannot believe. So be sure to follow me. Come on over to Stampin' Sue Creates on Facebook. Also, if you're on my personal page, but I also have a Facebook page, Sweet Bee Embroidery, and I will put that down in the comments as well. So I thought I have to make them. Well, first of all, I got them an Elf on the Shelf, and I have to make them a little sweater that has North Carolina. Now, sadly, the designer did not make a Pennsylvania one, so boo-hoo. But anyhow, so that's what we're here to do today. And I did remember to put my microphone on. Yay me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm doing it on white. Let me work around you a little bit here. Whoops. And unfortunately, that bumping keeps happening because I have you nice and close. I'm going to see where this is going to stitch. Okay. So that's what we're doing today. Ooh, that's right, I'm living on the edge there. Let me see where it falls down at this end. Okay, I think I could move down a tad. I was a little bit short in my cutting. I may have to cut a new one for the other side. Okay, so we're going to be doing a sweater, North Carolina sweater for Elf on the Shelf that I'm going to give them as a gift. Now, they'll either love me or they will curse me every year, but who knows? Whatever, you know, whatever makes me happy. So you give what you want to give to people, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a stitch out. Now I'm not sure if this one this is a quick stitch, it's only 11 minutes. I'm not sure if this one had a layout first or not, but well, this is what we're doing. Sometimes they do a stitch out first, but I just put my fleece on top and we're going to be good. Now I'm just trying to decide whether or not I think I may need to put a piece of, oh yeah, there was a stitch out first. All right, well, let's just do it again. So that would have been a layout stitch, the first one. Then you'd put your fleece down and do this, but no worries. I'm trying to decide if I need to put a, and I'm looking to see if I have a small piece here. A piece of the stabilizer, not stabilizer, what's the words I'm looking for? Y'all know what I mean. A piece of that real thin clear plastic over the top. Yeah, it's a stabilizer. It's a wash away stabilizer. well, actually will tear away. But I'm looking to see if I have any right here. Well, you know what? I'm going to live on the edge, and I'm going to start stitching it out. And if I notice that the stitches are going down inward, get myself situated here, then I will go ahead and stop it, and I'll have to go search for one. Okay, so scissors. Wow. Oh my gosh, they're right here on my machine. Okay, as we all know, when you're changing thread, cut up near the thread spool holder and pull it through the natural way that your thread will go. So if you are not yet on Creative Fabrica, oh my goodness. Now you can just go on there and not be a member and purchase the designs, or for a low fee every month, you can join. And if you use my link to join, pardon me, again, I will make a small commission off that, and I really do appreciate that. That helps me to continue. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to be doing the, excuse me, Real Red. Well, I call it Real Red because I'm Stampin' Up! Demo Red. It's going to do the State. And then over the top is going to do in bright yellow, North Carolina. Now, I don't know if that's the colors of North Carolina. Those of you that are here, that I'm going to stop this because I want to trim that little thread sticking up. Oh, it ain't going to want to blow away. All right. So if you're from North Carolina and you know that yellow and red are your state colors, then please let me know. So it's going to do the State. And you know what? So far it's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and let it stitch without the water-soluble stabilizer on the top, because that's doing a tack down stitch. That's what that's called, kind of. Is no, knockdown stitch. Tack down, knock down, all kind of downs, right? So that's what that is doing first, and then it's going to stitch over. So I think we are going to be a-okay, because now if you were doing this on a towel, or if you were doing stitching on something that was very dense, you would want to put on top of that a clear water-soluble stabilizer that will prevent all the stitches from going down into the fabric and literally getting lost in the fabric. But because that had a little knockdown stitch first, it kind of pushed down all the fibers, and now this is the final stitch on top, we're going to be good to go. So anyhow, oh my goodness, what was it? Last week I did a video on those cute little snowmen treat holders. Wow, the response to that has been amazing. I hope the designer on Etsy is getting a lot of sales, because we need to help out each other in this crazy world. We need to support each other. Those big box stores, sometimes they're great, and I'm raising my hand. I use them as well. But the little guys, during the time that the world is now, we need to help them out as much as possible. But anyhow, there were so many of you that watched that video, and I was, you don't know how much that makes my heart happy when you leave comments and say it was so cute, or you enjoyed it, or you know, you went and got it to support the designer. This one here you can get off Creative Fabrica if you are a subscribed member. You can get everything and anything, and I'm going to tell you that Creative Fabrica site is loaded with millions of things. I want to say millions because there's just so many things. But that's where this design is from, and Bella, I want to say Bella Blue Embroidery, don't quote me on that. But she has a lot of designs. She has a lot of Elf on the Shelf designs too, but a lot of other things. And she also has a website on Etsy. But if you're a member of Creative Fabrica, she has select items on her Creative Fabrica site that, like I said, use my link, become a member, and download as much as you want. And I hear George in the other room. He sounds like he's getting into trouble. What usually happens with that small little carpet, it's not a Roomba, it's a cheaper version of a Roomba. It's one from Amazon. And he always goes, I close my bedroom door because he always tends to go in my bedroom. And he gets stuck under one spot underneath my bed where I have like a a fan. I keep a fan underneath there. I don't keep much under my bed. I have hardwood floors in my home, and I have like throw carpets, and I keep the window fan under the bed, and he always gets tangled up in that. So twice today. So I'm like, George, I'm closing all the doors. You need to come in my craft room, and you need to clean my carpet in my craft room, because how many of you, I know, I'm guilty as well. You know, when you're making something, it's like, oh, just throw that thread on the floor, throw that little scrap of fabric on the floor, throw this on the floor. So anyhow, that's what that noise is. If you hear him, he's making the rounds. And you know, this is how I don't know, I like to name things, like my embroidery machine here. This is Bob. So there is the state of North Carolina. And next we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in yellow. So this was red, and this is one of those N series. N225 was the red, but it's, and there goes the red on the floor. But I better get it, because George is coming back. George will be pushing that thread all over. Okay, I don't have such dropsies anymore. I've had carpal tunnel surgery many years ago, before I worked for the orthopedic surgeons I worked for in my full-time job. So now we're going to use yellow, and this is from Thread Nanny. The other thread was from Bro Thread. This is Thread Nanny number 206. They recommend 205, but close enough. Let me thread this. These are quick stitches. Excuse me, under there. Yada yada. Doot. But oh my gosh, George, don't hit the camera. The folks that are watching will not appreciate that. Okay, so now it's going to spell out North Carolina. It's going to stitch it right over the state, and we should be fine with that. Let me scoochie myself in here. What was I saying? So I have been busy sewing. Oh my gosh. Have you seen the table runner that I did? That was, and I'm just making sure George isn't going to hit you guys. I'm going to put my hand on the stand just in case. That was from Creative Kiwi. No, I'm sorry. Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea, I did that tree table runner. Don't tell my daughter, but it's going to be a Christmas gift. Shh. Anyhow, I did that. Last night, I got the sewing bug. I'm telling you, got the sewing bug. I'm taking a little break from my stamping for the holidays, because I have so many projects I have to finish up. I made some Christmas aprons from panels that I've had in my stash. Did that. Got my cookies baked. So as of right now, cookies are done. And here we are, a week before Christmas. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I had yesterday off from work, so that's pretty much what I did. Ran to the store this morning to pick up some last minute things, and I needed hairspray. I mean, you might be saying, hairspray? Well, yeah, I still use, well, I guess it's not really hairspray. It's like a setting spray, you know, for your hair. Because my hair is like poker straight, and as I'm letting it grow longer, it's just, you know, midway through the day, I look at it, and it's like, poof. Like as though I didn't even put these little curlers in it in the morning or nothing. So, I ran out of it. Yeah, I was kind of loud talking, wasn't I? Okay, so there's North. So cute. So I ran out. I had to get that. And I had to get just a couple little tchotchkes. You know how you can't just go to the store and get one thing. But, oh, now he might have a little trouble with the Carolina here. It's going over it quite a few times. I think we should still be okay, because on the white, the North looks pretty good. I think we'll be fine. So anyhow, that's what I've been up to, and tomorrow I'm meeting up with my brother and his family. Well, my brother, my sister-in-law, my niece didn't come up, and where my daughter's going, her family, and my son and his girlfriend. So we're meeting over in a pizza place nearby with my brother, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. I haven't seen him since he's moved now. This will be the third Christmas since I lost my mom. There's a little, yep, I heard that. Check and rethread the upper thread. I heard that. Did you guys hear that? You know, sometimes you hear something. Well, I heard it. I'm not sure what all happened here. Okay, now I don't see the thread, so I'm going to carefully pull it from the top, and I don't recommend that. But here, you see what happened? I don't know if you can see that. You see the thread, how it kind of shredded. And George, we're busy here. I'm thinking maybe I should change the needle. What do you guys think? Thinking I should change the needle. And I have like a gold needle in here. Get my needles. I have a gold needle. Why did I put the gold needle? Oh, I think because when I was making those snowmen and stitching over the plastic and all that. So these are the needles I use. Organ needles. The number on them is 7511. So here's, oh boy, this is going to be tough. So I'm going to unscrew this. Now I do have an old pill bottle that I put all the needles in. And, oh gosh, is there, oh yeah, there's a needle in there. George, will you stop bumping me, honey? Go to the other side of the room. So I do put them in a pill bottle. I'm going to put the foot down. Now you want to put the flat side to the back. Oops. And when you have issues with your hands, sometimes this could be a little challenging. I do have a little tool to do this, but I notice if I put the foot down and just make sure it's all the way in. Ow! Yeah, and I just poked myself. Okay, flat to the back, all the way in, up, and tighten this screw. There we go. All right. What was I saying? Oh, I have to pick up my foot. Okay. Sometimes if I run into trouble like that and it kind of shredded the thread, why not just stop and do a new needle? But yes, definitely, if you have needles that you're throwing away, put them in an old container. Now that didn't thread. Why didn't you thread? Oh, there it did. Put them in an old bottle or something so that when you put them in the trash, you end up not having any problems with your trash man getting poked by it. All right, I'm going to go back. Let's see, that's 10. I'm going to go back 20 stitches. Because in case it was, you know, acting a little bit up, I want to make sure I'm going to get full coverage. In case it was, you know, kind of pulling a little bit. And those things happen. You know, if you have something, normally you'll get to recognize a sound that your machine will make, and you'll kind of be like, yeah, that didn't sound quite right. So one ear is listening and one ear is usually, I don't know, doing whatever. But don't panic. If something happens, just stop, reevaluate, rethread. I should have checked the bobbin as well. I didn't. But yeah, and just don't panic. You know, it's just fabric. You know, you can always do another one, but majority of the time you can save your projects. That it's not going to goof up your whole project. Oh my gosh, he's going to love this. I'm so excited. Sometimes for me, well, no, a lot of times, 99% of the time, holidays are the gifts that I give people that I'm excited to give it to them. I don't care if I don't get nothing. I don't really need anything. I have everything I want. Well, kind of, sort of. But here comes George. George, the folks are watching this video. I'm going to hold on to my stand while here he comes. George, turn yourself around, honey. There he goes. Okay, he's going to the other side. I love giving people's gifts. I love seeing their expressions. I love seeing their excitement. So to me, it's all about the gift giving, not receiving. Okay, so our North Carolina is done. I know, I probably had too much coffee today. Too much coffee today. Okay. All right. Oh, that looks good. Okay, now we got to do the white. Now, we only got 1 minute left, so we didn't even have much time for chit-chats. I'm going to have to come back. I know I get a lot of comments that you enjoy my chit-chat. And if you don't, then thank you for being kind and not saying anything and just fast forwarding. But anyhow, okay, so we got our white. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to get our other piece of fleece, and let me make sure it's the same. Sometimes I have to look at both sides to find out which is which. Okay, so we're going to take another piece of fleece. We're going to do right sides together. I would imagine, because I'm thinking, you know, for my elf, just bought these cute little robes for them off Amazon, and they weren't too expensive, but I thought, you know what, I probably could make those. I wonder if I did like little Barbie clothes, if that would fit. Okay, so we're doing the final. If the little Barbie clothes would fit the elf on the shelf. I don't know. If any of you know that, let me know. But this morning the elves were having their coffee in their robes. Oh, people are loving it. You know what? Again, it's the little things in life that bring joy. Like having my elves on the shelf every Christmas season. They'll be going back up to be with Santa till next year soon, and I'm sure gonna miss them. Okay, so it's gonna do that little bit of outline, and this is only 1 minute stitch. Now it's gonna leave the neck open and the bottom open because it's just stitching to attach the arms and the body. And then we're just going to use our scissors and we're just going to trim it out. And I may have to move you back when I do that because a little tight here. And I have to remember to get my little pill bottle to put that needle in before it ends up on the floor. Excuse me. But anyhow, so I'm excited about going tomorrow. First off, a place we're going, I don't know if I said, it's pizza. And how many of you know Grotto? Those of you in the Northeast, you may know Grotto because I think they're even down in Delaware. Yeah, I think they're in Delaware, Pennsylvania, Delaware. I don't know where else they are. They're usually at the Bloomsburg Fair. They get around. They have a couple shops here, a couple stores, restaurants, and then Tuesday they're going to go visit my aunt and all my cousins and everything. So, which I haven't seen them in forever. Look at, we are done. D-U-N, done. Finished sewing. Okay. All right. So let's take it out of the hoop. Now let me move you back a little bit. Okay. And maybe up. Don't mind my mess in the back if you see it. Okay. So here's the back. Everybody always wants to know, what does the back look like? And the stabilizer I'm using is a cutaway. Whenever you're doing anything fabric, you want to use cutaway. Okay, and this is a 5x7 hoop. Now it calls for the 6x10, but if you just rotate your design, you'll be able to fit it in a 5x7. If you do want to use a 6x10 hoop, you can move the design up and probably fit 2, maybe 3 on, or no, the 8x12 hoop. You could probably fit 3. 6x10, you could probably do 2. And this is 5x7. This is the smallest. I don't believe it would fit in a 4x4, but you'd have to check your design and find out what they say. Okay, so should I use these little scissors? I'm looking for my other scissors. Hold on, let me get my other scissors. They're on my other desk. There's a wheel on over there. Okay, so I'm going to use these scissors, which I think they need to be sharpened. I was noticing that I was having some trouble. So I'm just going to trim some of this away to get rid of it. And George is now back. Yeah, see, when I go to cut all these layers, look at it, it's like folding. I don't know if these Fisker scissors, if you can sharpen them or not. And I only use them for fabric. So it's like that certain spot. You know what? I was going to move you to the other desk, but you know what? I have all the cords picked up so George doesn't run them over. All right. Let me get rid of all of that. Okay, then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to use these curved scissors. They have that nice little curve in them, and I'm going to trim it out with that. Not the best, but oh, you know what? I have my little Stampin' Up scissors. Oh, George, people are watching, George. George. Whoops. Sorry. Oh, tight quarters in here today. Need to move things around, clean up after the holidays. Okay, I'm going to use these paper snips from Stampin' Up. And I made this cute little charm on here with a cute little bee. Isn't that pretty? So that I know that these are my Sweet Bee scissors. Okay, so I'm just going to trim. Oh, yes. And that's one thing I want to tell you, too. If you do paper crafts, have paper craft scissors. If you do sewing, have sewing scissors. And make sure you mark them so you know what is what. Because once you take your sewing scissors and you use them on paper, they're just not going to be any good anymore for cutting fabric because the paper dulls them. They'll still be good for cutting paper, but you can't go back once you do that. All right, let me stop talking for a moment. I'm kind of like one of those people that have to concentrate just a tad. All right. So we're just going to trim this all out. Oop. See what I'm telling you about dropping things and trim down the bottom? And there's no reason why I should be dropping this because it's, number one, light as a feather and soft. Oh, and I have some couple little strings down here. Just going to trim those. A couple little strings. Just some that are kind of hanging. Oh, I have to cut out the neck. Cut around the neck. That also helps in getting it over the elf's head. Well, I should say it helps them to get dressed. All right, that looks good. Okay, so here it is, front, back. Then all you got to do is flip it right side out. So just turn it. I know you're probably like, we can't see, we can't see. I'm going to get my little, if I could reach it, my little purple thing. This little doohickey thing. How many of you have one of these? The purple thing. And let me move back a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and go into the arm area. Use this little thing to turn the arms. And I'm using this end on it. Sometimes it's easy once you get it going to go in here. To turn them in. Let me try the little hook end. I'm always hesitant to use that because I'm afraid I'm gonna poke through. Just take your time. There's no rush except if you're trying to do a video and make it a short video. All right, let me work on the other arm. But that's it. You turn it right side out. And I'm just going to use my finger to try to get it going a little bit. Somebody had sent me a little turny thing. But I always figured this is such an easy project to turn that I wouldn't need it. Hold on, let me stop George. Okay. Ah, there we go. That was noisy. Did you guys hear that? I didn't think he was that noisy. Maybe that's why I was talking so loud. Okay. Anyhow. I will post a picture as the thumbnail so you can see. Once the elf gets himself all dressed up in it, you'll be able to see how cute he is going to be. All right, well, you get the gist of it. I'm not going to waste your time. Look at short sleeves. I don't want to waste your time with me trying to turn this inside out, because, you know, it's a week before Christmas. We all have things to do. You don't really want to spend your 10 minutes watching me try to turn my sleeves in. But it's kind of like, you know, you just want to get it done. Oh, look, look. Oh. There we go. We got one. There. So there's the sleeve. I will take a picture of the elf dressed with the little sweater on so you can see what it looks like. But isn't that cute? All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me. Like I said, if you're not yet a subscriber, I would really appreciate you subscribing. It's absolutely free. And as I'm saying that, look at this. Boom. I got it. There we go. Finito. But thanks so much for joining me. If I don't come back with another video, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for all you do and help supporting my channel. I really, truly do appreciate it. And be safe out there. Make sure you tell those you love them, because like I just found out, you know, we take things for granted. We never think about, you know, people not being in our lives until it's too late. So make sure you hug one another, or if you're worried about COVID, you know, blow them a kiss or do something. But have a wonderful holiday season, and I look forward to many, many more videos with us together. All right, everyone. Thanks again. We'll see you real soon. Bye for now.